Dungeon Doomhands Let's Talk Lore, a podcast. Dungeon Doomhands Let's Talk Lore, a podcast.
Yeah, don't
Dungeon Doomhands Let's Talk Lore, a podcast.
You can do what you need to do. We are back, and we are going to build a dungeon. Chris, welcome back to Let's Talk Lore. Yes. Go ahead.
You are Spencer.
I'm Spencer. This is Chris. Part 2 of the dungeon building process that we are recommending, and just for a trial, and to show everyone how we are going to go about building our 5-room dungeon. I have uploaded a tabletop simulator where we usually stream online to play our games. We are going to use this to build our dungeon. So, Chris, based on our conversation last time about a 5-room dungeon, what's the strategy here, and how do we tell the viewers what we're going to be doing exactly?
I think what we decided upon for building this dungeon is tailoring a room for each person, for each player. We have where we're starting, so we have our entrance down here, and then there's some goal at the end. Oh, that's big. And we're going to have a couple of rooms in between where we're going to be trying to explore or do something, and each one is going to be organized in a way that each one of the players in our group loves.
Right.
Including you.
Yes. Believe me, that big bad is going to be me. But when the whole story is going to be amazing. So,
let's put our big bag down here.
Yeah. Now let's okay. Let's grab some dice, and why don't we roll? Why don't we roll for the rooms? Because I would say. Here, let me just grab some dice here.
I got a D20 here.
Yeah, perfect. And we will take this and we will multiply it. Boom, 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 boom. And why don't you throw it out on that board? Because the people, when they draw their just pick them all up and throw them randomly.
Oh.
And when people do their dungeons, they always start with a piece of paper or a board like this or whatever. Perfect. That's fine. Yeah. Now, okay, so leave it like that. So This one will be here. This one's going to be here. We're just going to take it and make it a little bit bigger, but keep that same sort of thing. Okay. So now each room, we're going to have a room, and let's go down and see. Okay, you rolled a natty 1, so Chris, you die.
I rolled 2 natty 1s.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to just randomly roll these, so it's a little bit better, and we're just going to see how big the rooms are because we just don't want 2 small rooms. Okay. So this room is going to be, let's say, each size of the room. So let's go down here. This is going to be a 4x4. One like that. So this is going to be a relatively small. Is that a 4? Yes.
That's 4.
Yeah.
They got a couple big rooms then.
Yeah.
So this is a 4. I'll draw the 4 here.
Yeah. Now this one's a 15. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. Maybe you want to do. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Make it big.
10.
It doesn't
11,
have to be around that. It can
12,
just be closer.
13, 14. Oh, it could be here.
Yeah. So 11
no,
by 11.
I don't want to erase that. I just want to erase this. Let's make this room a 5x3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. We'll make it a 9 by. Maybe this is just a long room. Okay, and then this one, would you have a 20 down here? Ooh, a 2.
11 here.
A 2. So let's do a 2 by 2. Now it doesn't have to be exact. Yeah, maybe we'll make mine down here a little bit bigger for 15. So I guess what I was trying to do, and you can do your own math, was you take the dice, you roll them, and that pretty much is supposed to be the size of your room. So what do you have down here? An 11?
An 11 by 11.
Okay, so maybe my guy should be a little bit bigger as well.
You can't draw
straight
lines.
So here we go. So my 15 by 15
has that smaller one inside of it.
Right, or it's below, or whatever it is. Let's just do that. Okay. So now you connect the rooms, and we'll change this guy's color to green to just represent that he is downstairs. Now, red, I mean. Okay. So that's your general layout of the dungeons. We can get rid of the dice now. You have your random dungeon. And so like that's the type of thing that I was reading about that makes it interesting for at least the dungeon master, because when you lay out the lay of the land, to me it becomes a little bit boring and not as random as it should be. This makes it fun for me. Now how do I tell this story? Okay, well,
interesting.
You have your entrance, and let's go. We have five characters. Chris, you are. Let's go. You have room what? 1, 2. Oh, it's not letting me here. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'll make those numbers out here. And now we just need to roll for whose room it is. Now, the way when I say, remember, I want each room to have a specific thing that is tailored towards each individual. And what I mean by that is, Chris, you're a bard, but I also know you like Dungeons and Dragons, which is easy to do a room for you because you like most things. But like someone like Aaron, he might want to see a item. So maybe we'll start with that. So we're going to take a D10, wherever that is.
Got one right here.
Now why don't you roll it? Because I'm going to do Chris, your D1, your 1,
9,
Aaron, Matt, Booter, and Jake. So we're going to do Jake. Jake is room 5. Where's room 5?
The small one.
Yeah. So this is Jake. Room, and then
I'll grab D8.
I guess. Hold on. How am I doing this now? I've already. Well, I guess that's what we'll do. I was just trying to randomly do it, but I guess I.
Well, you can then do a D8 since you already have Jake's room.
Yeah, do a D8.
So.
Well, Jake should have been room 1 then, right?
Well, yeah, make him room 1.
Yeah, Jake is
room 1.
1
through 5.
Yeah, 1 through 5. That's better. Sorry,
okay,
I got lost in the math. That's why they paid. That's why they paid.
The next one is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aranis.
A.
That's perfect.
Okay, and then
here.
Yep.
D6 and a D4.
Let's go, baby.
You roll the D6.
Okay.
3. 1, 2, 3. Booter.
Booter.
Room 3 is Booter.
Okay.
I'll roll that D2. That just slide. So 2. That would be Matt.
Matt is room 4, and you're the bard with the song, or is it? Is C? Look at that. The 5 that I wrote, which was originally a C, stands for Chris. Okay, so now we have. Now we know randomly. For me, it's a little bit easier and better. For me, I'm just my own dungeon master. I don't. This is what my recommendation is. Now I have a room that I know the first room is massive, and Jake's character is the one who should really answer the problem or solve the problem, or cause the problem. And then so now I know that like room 1 is Jake, room 2 is Aaron, room 3 is Booterbot, 4 is Matt, Chris, you're 5, and then there's the big bad. Now, before we were also talking about how there's sort of like a plot in the way that you do a dungeon. You start out, you have your start, You have your second room where the plot thickens. You have your third room where it gets a little edgy and people get uncomfortable. And then you have your fourth room where you have a fight. There's like a climax. And then the fifth room is a release and a resolve, and maybe a intro to the next session of the big bad fight or something. So now I know that like Jake's room has to be, you know, it can follow that type of
that arc.
Right. But let's talk about Jake. I mean, Jake's character, Jake's story. You know, he's a druid. His character, when he likes to play, I think he likes to solve puzzles. So I feel like, for example, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but this room would have like a puzzle in it. And I do think that Jake's character and Jake himself, I do think he likes puzzles. So knowing him, he's a big board game player. I've asked him what he wants in sessions before and after, and he says more group puzzles. So that's what I'm going to focus on in this. And the puzzle will be based around not necessarily his personal life, but his character's backstory. It might not even have to be backstory. It might be even new happenings. Jake doesn't take notes, so I think it'll have to be something that's recent, and it's perfect because Trigard is and Ball, and maybe so you have your so maybe the puzzle opens up a room where Aaron finds there's an item in there. Aaron likes that stuff. Aaroness, likes that stuff. Aaron's character. So Aaron likes to find items. He told me his character's all about that. But also, he's possessed by a patron of trickery. So perhaps he gets a hint here, that of something.
He gets a hint that there's a secret room.
Right. So
while everyone is solving the puzzle in room 1.
Right.
Or he finds a trap door.
I'm going to say that the puzzle opens up a room where there's a trap. And the trap is obviously going to be some sort of item that Aaron is going to obviously take.
Of course.
And then maybe the item is something that you need to take to open up this door over here. And this door will then lead down the hallway to Booterbot's room. Booterbot, I haven't quite figured out, so that's an interesting, because he's new to our game. What should we try for him? Is this a good spot for an encounter?
I think this is a good spot for a social encounter.
A soulful?
I think social.
Oh, social encounter.
It can be soulful.
Well, he's yeah, full of soul.
You never know what's going to come out of a robot.
Soul, yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah. So what would you suggest?
Maybe there's some guardian or something to interact with to get information from, or maybe this is like a library or some place where we're trying to find information.
Role play.
Yeah.
And I always, me, Chris, we are in the Temple of Ball. I'm going to write role play / lore drop.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's, after all,
I'm secretly hoping for a nice library that has many old books that I can peruse and get a lot of information.
Right. So maybe this door is open, and maybe you don't need to find something. Maybe you need to pull the right books. Maybe there's an easy thing that gets you to the next hallway, or maybe it's a person that you follow, or something.
Or there's a key that we need.
Right. Something easy. You guys just solved the hard puzzle. You guys just got tricked and trapped. Now the door opened and you go to a room where there's something in there that
Or here,
enlightens you.
You have a number of items in this trap room, and one that's like heavily guarded and almost doesn't seem worth it is like a random figurine or a key or something. It's like we could get it then, but do we really need this? Do we really need to spend the resources getting this mundane looking object like a stick or something? And then we get through here and we find out that's the key we need to get through the store.
Perfect. Then you go down this hallway. Maybe it's trapped, maybe it's not, maybe there's more lore. Now Matt, to me, loves killing, loves fighting, and he loves smoking cigarettes. Well, it's really, Matt plays a girl, but...
maybe, before I get there, maybe your line comes like this.
Ooh.
This hallway. Like you can get down to this room and that room. This door is unlocked.
Right.
This door needs a special key. So we'll check in like,
so
let's go into this
split
this
the group
room
a little bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
If you want to.
Perfect. Yeah.
But you give a room where people are going to want to hang out with, and a stopping point could be in this room, but it could just be a random hallway off to the side.
Okay. So this door is
information
locked.
spot, that door's locked.
Okay. And this door is going to be over here. Is going to be hidden.
Yeah, or revealed.
Yeah.
After some puzzles.
Yeah.
Figured out.
And we've agreed that this entrance over here, just real quick to go back, is going to be some sort of some sort of cleansing. I don't know yet.
Here you go. You have a waterfall.
Yeah.
And the secret door is behind the waterfall. And there's an anti-magic or an anti-trickery or something.
So this
anti-disguise.
Let's keep going now. Matt's room. Battle.
I'm excited for this one.
Mini battle.
And here's something about it. It has to be a decent battle because you're almost to this person up there.
Right.
So you want to burn a lot of resources here.
Right. I know exactly what it is, and I'm gonna like drop. I'm gonna have a mic drop for you and for those of you who follow us. Okay, so the battle ends. You guys are not exhausted, but you're now we go to Chris.
We find another locked door.
Right.
That someone in here has a key to. So they have to die in order, or we have to convince them to give us the key or something. There's something
that happens in the battle that, or maybe this is just not even a door, and it's just open, and the fight is so intense in here that you guys don't explore that area.
Yeah.
And
or maybe one person gets trapped in there on their own.
Right. And they have to, I like that. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And they have to sing the right song, Chris.
I like it that way.
Oh, I thought we were doing soul. We're doing soul music.
I'm going to have my homework this week.
And then maybe that room is a place to rest a little bit, or to rest up before, if you need to fight Darth Vader again, you can. And then
we're not going to long rest in this place.
Yeah, right. And so, or maybe.
Well, and here's another idea that I've heard is create a sense of urgency.
Right.
Or set a timer. Or something. Maybe the door that we go through, like you did with the time heist. Say this door closes in 24 hours.
Right.
So
I haven't even. Here's the mic drop.
Or 6 hours.
Here's the mic drop.
Make it quick.
You ready? So I'm gonna bring it all together. So that's the story arc. So we just did it. So you have your puzzle, your trap, your like lore, which is going to be where things get a little bit confusing. Then you're going to have your tension in the battle, and then there's going to be a resolve in room 5 with Chris somehow. That'll be the arc. But for the theme of the place, which is what you initially were talking about, if you go back to Let's Talk Lore Dungeon Session 1, Chris was talking about the themes. You get your layout. What do you want to tell in the story of this dungeon? Well, guess what?
What's the purpose of this?
Right. Guess what? This is the Temple of Baal, the god of murder. And wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if every puzzle, every trap, every role play, every battle, and every whatever, Chris, you're going to do was based around and had elements of someone that you guys murdered in my game? Some sort of NPC that you guys murdered. Wouldn't that be cool?
I love it.
Yes. That's the lore drop. And
it is magic.
And I've made you guys have all done it. You guys are all guilty. And even if
to be fair, I was playing Lone Star.
It's true. And
when I have not been Lone Star, I've been very let's not murder everyone.
Like, I know damn well that this area room, this is why it's fun for me, is as you see how the smile on my face right now. I'm so excited for this. Matt's room is filled with people that he's killed, and I can't wait to roleplay them. It's gonna be freaking roleplay their spirits because they were murdered, and so their spirits are somehow avatar-ish of the god of murder. I mean, it's perfect, and their souls can't get released because they were murdered, and they have to, you have to help them. And Chris, your pedestal is the way to do it. I don't know. I don't know, Chris. Wink, wink. And Aaron's room is going to definitely have Zog, the orc that he murdered.
Oh yeah.
And Jake's room with the puzzle is going to be filled with half-eaten brains that he's consumed. I mean, it's perfect. And Booterbot, like, I don't know who he's killed, but he's definitely killed a lot. So
he killed the old woman.
Right. And then
he stopped and said, "We need to kill the old woman. We're all ready to walk away."
Right. Yes. The assassins could have the queen in it. Who knows? So, like, that is a perfect. I'm excited for it. The players I know are going to be excited for it. And like, as we play it, and I'm gonna change it around a little bit. I will keep this exact map, so we can link it to the comments below, so that you can click on it and see the actual map that I build. It's going to be exactly like this. It'll look a little bit neater with the props I take from Tabletop Simulator, but this is essentially it. And the big bad is going to be insane. It's going to be an insane fight, because I am not dungeon mastering for a while after that fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't you think a little Doom Hand would be necessary?
Yeah.
That's the mic drop.
I expected it.
I'm tearing up a little bit. So
I'm excited.
I know it was a little bit long, but that is my recommendation to a simple way of building. It didn't take that long. How long did that take? We're at 23 minutes.
And we rambled.
And we rambled. Like, look how easy and cool that map we made, and how fun that's going to be. Now, obviously, you do have to do a little bit of, what's the puzzle, what's the trap, what's the battle. You don't have to do that much for the battle. I already know the lore drop because it's just going to be about the ball and doing
if you don't want to sit around and try and figure it out, great recommendation. Game Master Book of Encounters.
Yeah.
Or the Game Master Book of Puzzles, Traps. There's puzzle. There's a traps. There's traps one. There's an encounters. Many astonishing tables to make a random fight.
Right. And the Game Master's Book of Traps and Puzzles, which I'll put down in the comments, and I'll just link his entire
catalog,
which is we don't get any money for you guys buying it. I just recommend you guys use it because I'm having an absolute blast using it. He's got more books coming too, so that's pretty cool.
I have 3 on my desk planning the mountains right now.
Yeah, and you know what? The hallways, you don't have to have, when you creep down them, they don't have to be traps. I love the used to put having you guys investigate for wires and shit. Maybe one, but like, that's a good place to just do a lore drop where you walk down the hallway and you see architecture.
You see a fresco on the wall of the story, or like that's what you did in the call box. You had the story of the call box of the mechanic on the ceiling, and you described it, and that was a great way to tell everything you wanted to tell about.
I mean, you're in a cathedral. You're in a cathedral. It's gonna be. This is gonna be sick. So that's how I would do it. You need an easy dungeon. That was 20 minutes. We rambled, so you could probably cut that down to 15 minutes. And as long as you know your players, and guess what, you could make that even easier for you if you were to ask your players, "Hey guys,
what do you like?
What is it that you're looking for in this next dungeon?" And they'll tell you, "Oh, nothing. Everything is fine." Well, what would you want to do? Right. And if you have a player like Aaron who says nothing, keep going. Just say, okay, trap, puzzle, whatever, and pick whatever it is that they have. That's
or pick something fun that you want to do.
And you could have this whole thing could be puzzles too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I think that's pretty cool, and that's
that's good.
That's our episode. So hit subscribe if you enjoyed that. More to come. We'll see you soon.
And be sure to see our actual play. Coming. Well, whenever we're gonna do it now because of vacations.
Yeah, we have a vacation.
Keep an eye on the channel, and
it's possible that it's next week, but we'll post about it.
I'm excited. Keep an eye for the next episode of I Got Doomhand and Skulls of Power.
I got this dungeon.
See where we go.
I gotta figure it out. I gotta snapshot that. All right, roll high, subscribe. See you later.
This is Rena. Rena rolled low during death saves and didn't get healed by his group. Don't be a Rena. Roll high and subscribe.